So people have a lot of questions. What really happened with Snow White? After a long wait, Disney's new Snow White finally came out last week, and to put it mildly, my friends, this has been a colossal mess. I mean, it's been a colossal mess since the very beginning, basically, but this release, this premiere...
After months of public backlash, viral outbursts, political controversy, and waves of fan petitions, Disney has finally made a major move that many people saw coming. Rachel Zegler is officially out, and word on the street is that BrettCooper might be stepping in to replace her. Disney is clearly hitting the reset button in a big way. But this isn't just about switching out one actress for another. This feels like a total image overhaul. It's as if Disney wants to wipe away the entire Zegler chapter and start fresh. Let's break it all down together. Why Disney has quietly blacklisted Rachel Zegler and what this means for the future of Snow White.
If you're in a Disney movie, be in a Disney movie. Be excited, be happy. I'm not looking to you for answers on foreign conflicts. You know what I'm saying? On major Middle East affairs and how to negotiate peace deals. I'm not looking to Rachel Zegler, a dumbass little actress, for how to negotiate world peace. So just do the movie. And I really wonder if Rachel Zegler is going to have a career years down the line, because how can you book an actress? I'm sure she got millions of dollars for the film. I'm sure she was compensated well. You book an actress, you pay her well, and then she goes out there and speaks so negatively about the project and everybody involved. So I think producers are going to think twice about having her come on to join their film.
From the beginning, Rachel Zegler's casting as Snow White got mixed reactions. That only got worse when she started making headlines for controversial interviews, political opinions, and criticizing the very movie she was hired to promote. Felt like every few weeks, she sparked another PR firestorm.
Narcissist. Original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Till Disney stood by her for a while. So what changed? According to inside sources, the studio finally hit its limit. Between pressure from conservative viewers, boycott threats, and constant social media drama, Disney executives apparently decided she was too much of a risk to lead one of their most beloved franchises. What followed was a subtle but obvious pullback. Disney began quietly removing Rachel Zegler from promotional content and started fresh with new casting tests and discussions. And fans are noticing. It's like Disney flipped the switch from "she's our lead" to "Rachel who" overnight. As of now, Rachel hasn't commented publicly. But if history is any guide, she'll likely respond soon, maybe through a Notes app post, a cryptic tweet, or a TikTok. One thing's for sure, Disney has stopped trying to do damage control. This move is a clear signal they're moving on. The same time all of this was unfolding, the timing couldn't have been more perfect for BrettCooper to step into the spotlight. In 2023, Brett left the Daily Wire, a move that surprised a lot of people, especially given how involved she had been in some of their major projects. One of the biggest was Snow White and the Evil Queen, the Daily Wire's alternative version of the Snow White story. The film, produced by their BentKey streaming service, was heavily promoted as a traditional retelling, essentially a response to what many conservatives saw as Disney's woke take with Rachel Zegler. But when Brett left the Daily Wire in late 2023, the whole project came to a halt. Promotion stopped, the release date vanished, and there was total silence. What started as a bold challenge to Disney's version turned into a stalled production with more drama behind the scenes than on-screen. Teaser trailer for Snow White and the Evil Queen, which showed BrettCooper fully suited up in costume using stock footage, was clearly timed to grab attention during the backlash against Rachel Zegler. Jeremy Boring, co-founder of the Daily Wire, openly said the movie was a cultural statement, a way to return to values and push back against what he called Disney's woke agenda. Jeremy Boring didn't hold back. He made it crystal clear that Snow White and the Evil Queen was meant as a cultural counterpunch. He called it a return to values and took a direct jab at what he viewed as Disney's woke agenda. But here's where things fell apart. BrettCooper's contract had her locked in as the star, meaning the entire film was built around her image and name. So when she parted ways with the Daily Wire, the project hit a legal and creative brick wall. Her departure voided her contractual obligations, which meant the film couldn't legally move forward as originally planned. As for why she left, that part's still murky. Publicly, no one said much. But behind the scenes, sources suggest there were growing tensions between Brett and Daily Wire leadership, possibly over the company's brand direction or Brett's desire to break away from the conservative media bubble. Whatever the exact cause, it's clear this wasn't an amicable parting. Insiders have described the fallout as frosty at best. The result? A highly publicized film now sitting on the shelf, collecting dust. And a once-close relationship between one of the platform's biggest stars and its leadership has turned into a very public fracture. Some fans have even pointed to Brett's recent online behavior as a clue. She's been distancing herself from hardline political content and seems to be leaning toward more mainstream or independent work. While she hasn't confirmed anything, the signs are there. What started as a bold culture war fairy tale has now become a cautionary tale about contracts, control, and the cost of clashing creative visions. With no Brett, no footage, and no release plans, SnowWhite and the Evil Queen might just end up being a bedtime story that never got told. And the uncertainty doesn't end there. Brett had voice roles in other Daily Wire Plus properties, including Mr. Bircham, an animated sitcom starring Adam Carolla. With Brett out, it's unclear whether those projects are being recast, rewritten, or quietly shelved altogether. And neither Cooper nor the Daily Wire has offered an official explanation for the split, but whispers from behind the scenes point to creative or ideological disagreements, or maybe just a shift in Brett's personal priorities. One thing's for sure, this wasn't just a quiet career move. It was a full-on breakup. And the social media trail left behind spilled all the tea. Brett unfollowed the Daily Wire and several of its original cast members. But the real jaw-dropper? She deleted that now infamous wedding photo with Reagan Conrad. That photo wasn't just any old snapshot, it was a symbol of friendship and professional solidarity. Removing it sent a loud message.
Elaine took over the comments section. How did that feel?
Friendships are hard.
Are you guys still friends?
I would say so. Of
Would you like to still be friends?
course. I talked about that actually in another Dear Brett thing. Adult friendships are really hard. I always think it's going to get easier. Kind of just gets harder.
Yeah, that was giving serious burned bridge energy. And it didn't stop there. Brett's mom even liked fan posts accusing Reagan of being a backstabber. One of those subtle but not so subtle signals that things behind the scenes got ugly. It was like Brett's family was saying what Brett herself wouldn't or couldn't say out loud. But at the heart of all this drama was one major issue: creative control. According to Reagan, one of the biggest disagreements between Brett and the Daily Wire came down to the tone of SnowWhite and the Evil Queen. The Daily Wire reportedly wanted to fill the movie with anti-woke messaging, designed to spark outrage and own the libs. That fits their usual style. Brett, on the other hand, wanted something more neutral. A classic, timeless fairy tale, one that could appeal to a wide audience, not just a political niche. She wasn't interested in turning a childhood story into a political weapon. She wanted it to be her big breakout as an actress, not another headline in the culture war. That difference in vision says a lot. Brett was aiming for something bigger, something broader. But for the Daily Wire, provocation is the brand. And when Brett refused to let them politicize the project, the fallout became inevitable. Reagan Conrad eventually took Brett's place on the comment section, the very show Brett helped build, and for fans that felt like the final straw. To them, it looked like a replacement move. But for Brett, probably felt personal.
Feel that she was disloyal in taking the role?
No, she can do. She's an adult. She, and this is what I will always stand by, you have to make the decision that is good for you and your family. I did that, and she did that.
Why do you think the friendship fell apart? If you wish her the best of success.
Friendships are hard.
Do you want to say anything to her?
That's a difficult question.
Now, SnowWhite and the Evil Queen is officially shelved in its original form. Still, there are rumors that the Daily Wire may try to revive the project by recasting the lead. But here's the problem. If they replace Brett with Reagan Conrad, Backlash could get even worse. Fans weren't just excited about the story, they were invested in Brett as SnowWhite. From the teaser trailer to Benke's entire promotional message, Brett was the face of the film. Her exit left a big gap that Reagan, fair or not, is now seen as trying to fill. When you combine loyal fandom, emotional investment, and behind-the-scenes drama, trying to continue the project might feel more like damage control than a fresh start. People can see through that. Meanwhile, Mr. Burcham is also hanging by a thread. Season 1 had low viewership and mixed reviews. Brett voiced Mrs. Burcham, one of the lead characters. Now that she's gone, they'll have to either recast her or remove the character, further complicating an already shaky project. The Daily Wire is now in a creative crisis. They tried to build an entertainment brand around bold personalities like BrettCooper. But when those personalities leave, everything they built around them risks falling apart. And even though the Daily Wire might not be able to move forward with SnowWhite, that doesn't mean Brett is out of options. Reports are flying that Disney has pulled a major pivot in response to the backlash they faced for sticking with Rachel Zegler. Company is doing a full reset. What was once sold as a bold, progressive reimagining of SnowWhite has now been completely overhauled and rebranded. The new direction? Think old-school Hollywood meets classic fairy tale charm. According to insiders, the studio wants warmth, elegance, and timelessness. They're done chasing viral moments or social media controversies. Instead, they're looking for someone who embodies the classic Disney princess feel, graceful, likable, and with broad appeal. Not edgy, not divisive. And BrettCooper? She checks all the boxes. As for Rachel Zegler, her exit is more than just being recast. It looks like a full industry pullback. Her name has been scrubbed from everything. No interviews, no posters, no teaser content, no behind-the-scenes clips. Not even press kits mention her anymore. It's as if she was never part of the project at all. And the fallout doesn't stop at Disney. Other studios are starting to quietly distance themselves too. Rachel's once rising career has hit a major slowdown with fewer offers and less buzz. It's like Hollywood muted her all at once. What was supposed to be her big Disney era has ended up putting her career on pause, maybe permanently, at least in the mainstream. At the end of the day, audiences didn't reject change, they rejected how it was handled. Disney took a gamble on modernizing a classic, but instead of creating magic, they created chaos. Now they're going back to what they know works: timeless stories, universal charm, and stars who can carry that legacy forward, with grace, not controversy. So, what do you think? Is there any truth to the rumors about BrettCooper taking over? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out our past videos so you can stay caught up on all the latest tea. Till next time, bye!